Hello, everybody. It is Wednesday, July 25th, 2018. This Hangout on Air is live, a little bit of a Wednesday Troll-a-Rama. Hello, Tara. Nice to see you, honey. Let me turn that side chat down there. And welcome to all of you. Just closing a few of the windows I have here. So I hope everybody is having a good Wednesday this evening. It was a very fun day for Jen and I. Swamp Pick, how you doing, sweetie? It was a very fun day for Jen and I today, and did quite a bit of shopping. Had to run many errands, but it was good not to really have any projects to do. Just hang out, go buy stuff we needed to buy. And yeah, a real good day today. So I thought I'd cap it off with a couple hours tonight, just chatting with you guys. So we got Tara on the side chat. So Tara, what's going on with you? Nice to see you. I don't know if anybody will be around on Wednesday evening, but I just felt like chatting a little bit here. Street life, woo! How you doing, buddy? Nice to see you. How's everything up in I want to say New Hampshire? How's your summer going? Has it been good, or you been caught in all this rain that you're talking about? This torrential rain that's been hitting the East Coast. Any of that been around your way, or is it more of the Middle Atlantic states? That's all you're hearing about on the news. Good and busy. All right. We've had a cooler than normal, not cold, but cooler than normal, a very comfortable summer here so far. With I think only one night we had to put the air conditioner on so far this season. So that's pretty good. That's a pretty good record, right? Some years are extremely hot, and some years are, yeah, cooler than usual. Yeah, picked up some more fishing tackle today. Hope you all enjoyed the fishing videos that went up. Also, the casino fun. I know it looks like I just lead a life of fun and adventure. I know, but I'm just the first half of the summer was so bad that I'm kind of excited to cut loose a little bit. I finally, oh, look, I finally got the teeth taken care of. Finally, all of my caps are on. That long nightmare that began in April when I bit that piece of roast beef, and I'm like, where did my cap go? Can you imagine? Can you imagine swallowing your own cap and wondering where that thing's bouncing around like a pinball machine in your body and stuff? T-shirt sales through the roof, already beat last year's sales. Way to go! Thank you, Swamp Pick, says the Molly Dolly. Hi, sweetie. Swamp Pick says the fishing videos were very well done. Thank you, Swamp Pick. Enjoyed. Is now known as Ryu the Street Fighter. Hey, Katie, how are you, sweetie? I didn't, Carl, the thing that I like to record stuff. Hey, Jessica, I like to record stuff, but this guy, I'm just standing there clearing before I start my, I like to do. Yesterday, I had the intention. The day before yesterday, I had the intention to do some cinematic video and show people how important music is to a cinematic type of experience. And I was clearing out my SD card. I use a little Canon camera plus the cell phone camera. Hi, Zinger, baby. And Sister Earth, nice to see you. Yeah, Mr. Market Basket's like the UFC fighter deposits her casino winnings so she doesn't get mugged. I'm not dumb. I'm not walking around with $600 worth of cash, $600+ of cash in my Pocket. Yeah, the dude was a joke. My only regret is, I'm holding $1,500 worth of gear. In this hand, I have the cell phone, and it's in the gimbal, and I'm trying to fumble with clearing out the SD card. And I look up, and this guy's charging across the parking lot. From the bus stop right over to where I'm leaning against the power pole there and clearing out the SD card. So I didn't really have time to record on that. And the guy wants to get up in my grill and stuff like that. And it's like, you start trying to grab for my equipment, we're going to have a problem. I just printed the 2-belt champ DC UFC shirts. There we go. Oh, your top reminded me. Yeah, this is the Santa Rosa Junior College. Have a hey, Tyler, nice to see you, handsome. A very funny story for tomorrow's chooch. Carl, I don't know what to say. All the years I never had a problem, but then since they broke up this FEMA camp around here, it's just been more and more headaches with some of these people. It's going to take time for this all to disperse and move away. Yeah, the wrong equipment anyway. Yeah. So anyway, I got the right equipment for that. You're going to smash his equipment if he runs towards yours. I tell you what, I'm really a peaceful person, but if you start trying to grab for my equipment and all that stuff, let's pull vid. You look like a mermaid. Thank you. Was that the one we did? We've done so much lately. It's been amazing. We went up to the beach. We went up to the Russian River. Okay, I wish you'd hang around a little bit, Tyler. Yeah, things are still relatively safe. You always open your eyes underwater. I don't know. I don't really, if the water is okay, I'll take a little blink, and if nothing happens, then I'll open my eyes underwater. Or up on the river. I don't know if I would open my eyes on the river, although that water is very clean. It's all mountain melt coming down from the Sierras there on the Russian River. Yeah, San Francisco's out of control. I'll tell you, even LA is even worse. Hey, Joey D. Joe, could you do me a favor? Oh, I got to give that some wrenches here, Carl, Katie. Katie, I guess, I don't know if you were here. Let me see. There we go. Boom, there we go. Joey D, we lost your outbound phone number over here. I'm wondering if you could just text or call Jen. We'd sure like to get together. We're going to be going up to Reno next Tuesday. You guys got some more fun stuff to look forward to. I hope we do another low-life tour of the underbelly of Reno again. Always fun. So we would like to, absolutely, Carl, we would like to pop by and see you on our way up there. Carl's like, I will keep the tweakers at bay. Carl, you're too much. Yeah, so I find it's just easier to give everybody a rent. So you can just type, if I know you, if I know of you for a while, it's no big deal. Hey, Ellie, nice to see you. There's Ellie. Yeah, can you believe we got Tyler pop by tonight? Yeah, good thing you're on Carl's nice list. There you go, Katie. I'm sure Carlos will be in under his one of his 100 account names, demanding his wrench. So we shall see. How's Ellie tonight? Sister Earth, let me wrench you up too. Here we go. Okay, there we go. I'm going to grab a. I'm not drinking. I'm just going to have a little ice water here. Who is Ellie? Are you getting all that rain? Are you getting like bombed with rain over there on the East Coast? I'm trying to figure out what area of the country that's in it. That's going on. Hey Fitz, let me wrench up, my man. There we go. Nice to see you, Fitz. Saw your reloading stuff today, Fitz. That's really cool. I'm fascinated by reloading. I don't know, Jen. What do we pay for? What do we pay for 100 rounds of federal ammo? $26 or something? 22, 26.
Let's see. 26 bucks.
Yeah, I think it's. I don't mind using aluminum.
For 200 rounds of aluminum.
200 rounds of aluminum. Okay. Okay. Carl said, "Oh, New York's getting rain." Hey, Keith, how are you, my friend? Not Martian for once. It's hot as Hades. Yeah, I was talking to Bergs on the phone. A couple times this week, and he said it was. I think it's hotter up there than it is down here. Single stage press, but I like it. It's fun. That's cool. I've never really shot enough to be a reloader. Last time I went out was terrible. I was pulling everything off to the left. I never had that experience before. So, plus the gun needs a cleaning. We got to get out there and get our gun cleaning stuff. 94 today. I guess it was about 90. I want to say 88 around here, but comfortable. Carl said aluminum rounds shoot good in most guns, becoming a viable option. You get a box at 59. Yeah, so we're paying like $22 here in California for 100 rounds, and I don't know. I prefer aluminum to the one that really gives me a lot of trouble. What is it, Jen? The Remington or the Winchester just kills me. I don't know what it is about the Winchester. So what's going on? What's going on YouTube? I feel like I've been kind of out of it. We've been out doing so much different stuff, and I'm so excited to be going to Reno next week. We've not been to Reno for 2 years. You guys are not going to believe where we're staying there and the accommodations that we're in. Okay, and sometimes it pays to travel a lot. So it's almost like a really nice freebie coming in for next weekend. So I'm not trying to make anybody jelly or show anything because I didn't pay anything. You know, I paid a little bit for it with the resort fee and all that. But it's the first time in my life I've ever, gone for it. Katie said, Carl said, it's awesome you shoot getting accurate with a handgun. I was really super accurate before, Carl. This is the first time I've been off. I'm usually like in a 1 foot, from 75 feet, I'm usually like 80% of my stuff is within, I want to say 9 inches and 18-inch radius of bullseye. But everything was shifting off to the left this time. Katie said, I've been working a lot, so I'm definitely out there. Can't wait to see you, Reno. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Yeah, it's raining cats and dogs in Baltimore. The Sox and Birds game is in a rain delay. Yeah, probably just as well the way the Orioles is. better than watching them play is to watch the rain come down. Yeah, Joe. So if you can call Jen tomorrow or just text her your phone number so we can get in touch with you. Okay, Katie, Winchester is dirt powder. I have to clean. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's street. It's just absolutely killed. My Beretta is very finicky and it needs a cleaning, but I will tell you what, that Winchester just stovepipes and top hats on me. Every magazine I load up, I'm having one, top padding or a jam on it is pissing me off. Oh, well, Carl said I got a suppressor a year ago, Street Life, and man, oh man, I had no idea how much dirt that thing throws back. Yeah. Ravens, how you doing, sweetie? Let me, there's a good kid. Let me wrench you up there, Ravens. Very nice to see you, honey. Hope you're doing well. I know your summer's probably gone pretty good. Hey, Harley, nice to see you. Harley man in the house. Hello, NY, New York Litz, NYLI. So what's happening, Harley? Nice to see you. Anybody seen Voodoo around? I heard he had some problems again. I just wanted to reach out and say hi to you, Voodoo. Hope you're doing okay. Mikey G, did you see the casino bids? What would you do for a Klondike bar? You'd be surprised. Ravens, you're the beautiful one, honey. Let's get that straight. Larson, how you doing, sweetie? Yeah, it's fun to be live. Just for a couple hours of a Troll-a-Rama is a lot of fun. Mikey, I could not lose last night. I went into this casino with Jen, and before we walked in, I told Jen, you ever have a day where everything goes your way, right? Fucking awesome. I'm used to getting a hoof in the head, right, in life lately. And I told Jen before we go in, I said, you know what? I'm feeling it tonight. And every machine I sat down on and probably played 8 to 10 machines was kicking winners on that thing. Had a kick-ass dinner, that pizza restaurant. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, you can't leave this place, Harley. Harley said moving to Summerlin. Is that in Las Vegas? Summerlin or Summerland, where Texas, or where are we going to? I know there's Summerlin, Texas. So my Russian side hacks paid off. Mikey G, you're a man of mystery out there. Mikey G, the Russian slot hack artist. Is that West Virginia? I spent a lot of time in West Virginia. Mikey Mike, how you doing, babe? I spent a ton of time in West Virginia. Paul, West Virginia, Romney, West Virginia, Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. I love that area. Down the Skyline Drive, the Shenandoah Valley. My goodness, that is a beautiful, beautiful area down there. 25 minutes out. Harley, man, are you moving to Summerlin, Texas, or are you moving to Summerlin spelled different in Vegas? Oh, Harper's, yeah. I love Harper's Ferry. What a beautiful place. That's the Potomac, the Shenandoah. I think several rivers come together. 2 rivers, I think they're beautiful. Harper's Ferry, West Virginia. Oh, Nevada. Okay. Yeah, it's depressing. I mean, if you come through the southern part, and I'm very familiar, my family's all out of Asheville and Harlan County, Kentucky. If you come up through, you cross over Kentucky, you got the Hatfields and McCoys were on both sides of that situation. The Hatfields on the Kentucky side and the McCoys. No, the McCoys were on the Kentucky side and the Hatfields were on, I don't know, I can't remember which. I don't know which was on which, but you go through Hurricane and some of those mining areas down there, and it's really, really depressing. Hey, Randy, how you doing? It gets really depressing in that area, especially in wintertime. And it just always seems to be economically challenged. uh, difficult. I used to date a hot guy from Harlingen. That's cool. What's up, Randy? The great Randy Clegg in the house. Hot guy from Harlingen. So, Harley, man, you're moving to Nevada. And you say the winters suck in West Virginia. Do you enjoy gambling? Do you like entertainment? Because I'll tell you what, I don't have to tell you, it gets awful crispy in Vegas. Yeah, Harlan County, like in that show Justified. Yep, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. Oh, I need your recipe for Italian bread. Hi, Oz. How are you? Real simple yeast, flour, water, salt. That's it. But I'll tell you one thing, Oz. And if you look at that pizza restaurant we went to last night, they actually list the temperatures that they cook their pizza on the menu. And there were some that were fired at 800 degrees in there. Our New York was fired at 700 degrees. I tell people that first 10 minutes that you pop that bread in, put it on a hot stone, right, preheated, the hottest your oven will go, and blast that heat for 10 minutes. You get a lot of that oven spring. That's what really makes a great loaf. Yeah, I don't mind crispy, just not 10 degrees. Yeah, so I always bake my bread. The first 10 minutes is as high. I can go up to 800 degrees in this Fisher Paykel oven. So I put a little oven safe pan in there and let that heat up, and then pour in some boiling water, create that steam for the first 10 minutes or so, and that allows that oven spring. It keeps that bread from seizing for those critical first 4 minutes, so that loaf can expand very rapidly to full size, and you get those nice air pockets inside. So it's really quite an easy loaf to make. I think I use about 4 cups of flour, 3 cups of water, a thing of yeast, and a couple teaspoons of salt. Yeah, spray that 3 times. Yeah, spray that too. Spray that. I got a nice spray bottle, so you spray that a couple times in the first 15, and that also keeps that crust from setting, and that baby will get nice. And I brush that with a little bit of beaten egg with a little water to give a little color to it too. So you didn't know we were going to talk about baking tonight, did you? Through probably 2.5 cups of water or something like that. Have you heard of Fremont Avenue Medical Center downtown? I'm familiar with Fremont Street, but I'm not particularly associated with. I've never heard of the Fremont Avenue, Fremont Street Medical Center downtown. What's up? Is that where you getting treatment or something there for something? I think it's 2.5 cups of water. I like to do a dough that's a little on the softer side, so it has a lot more rise. Been down on Fremont Street a lot, Fremont East. I'll give you guys a little clue. I enjoy downtown Vegas much more than the Strip. 20 years ago, you could go on the Strip and you could walk down the Strip past the casinos and stuff. Now they have you got to go over these skywalks and down. You got to go through hotel lobbies and through shopping areas, and it's not fun to walk it's not really fun to walk the Strip. But you look at downtown now, they got all the young people opened restaurants and these old blown out sections. I mean, 20 years ago, nobody was going downtown. It was dying. And now look at it down there. It's amazing. Just amazing. Yeah, this Friday night, I think we're going to be harvesting some apples Friday afternoon. Our Gravenstein apples are in. You want to bake an apple pie a little bit on the tart side. You want to have those apples tart. So these are just ready for the picking. Do a nice traditional hot July apple pie. People keep trying to hand you crap on the strip. It's annoying. You know, it's not as bad as it used to be. Larson, they used to have that. They used to hand out those poppers for the porn stuff. Yeah, I don't like extra sweet pies. So. But it's like I was talking to Dave today, and he was saying, "Man, you get that cinnamon sugar on top for that finish on that apple pie. Woo! That's it. I like to use a turbinado sugar, which is a little bigger crystals. Yeah, they were just too much in people's face with those popping those porn things out. Finally, the city just passed an ordinance because they were fighting it on free speech that we can be allowed to hand out stuff on the strip. So. They kind of tried to subtly clean the place up a little bit down there to just not too heavy-handed. You know, too heavy-handed. I mean, Vegas is not what it used to be. It used to be you could go into casinos and stuff, and you just played. You know, you shot craps for maybe an hour or something like that, and you lean over to the box man at the craps table and just ask him if he could set you up with a buffet. It's really hard for them to say no, right? I mean, it's really hard to say no to people that are putting, you know, $1,000 an hour of action, $2,000 of action through a table, right? You just give me a player's card, maybe they mark it up, right? Now it's all machine, right? You have to. There's no more human element in it anymore. It probably is in the high roller area, right? You're not going to need for anything over there, but low rollers, yeah, I'm not much of one. I get bored real easily. There we go. Carl said the most I've ever won was $5. I was thrilled. There you go, Carl. You want to go to Caesars first, huh? I might go back again. Caesars had years ago. I went to they have an adult to topless top optional pool. That was pretty fun. Weave, how you doing, Weave? Woo, Weave. I wish I was a gamer. I've never. The last video game I played was Atari Pong. Boing, ping, boing. That was as challenging as it got. I think that was 1969 was the last time I played. You weren't even born yet, right? I'm playing that. Oh, shit, that's as exciting as life was back then. We're sitting around watching some fucking guy walk on the moon, right? That was our big thing. TR, how are you? Nice to see you, my friend. And let me... Nice to see you, TR. I hope you're doing well. I'm going to get back together with you at the end of the summer. Hope everything is going well your way. Go ahead. There we go. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah, being down gambling and stuff. They took a lot of the joy out of it. Used to be able to get comps and come in like a low rider. Dan OB, man, can it really be? Can it really be? Dan OB? Wow, it has been forever, Dano. Nice to see you. Wow. Yeah, I played Pong 3 years before it was. I don't even know when it was invented. I remember we got. Thank you, TR. I just remember I really enjoy. I got so much done around here, TR. It's been great. But yeah, I don't know what year Pong was. Love you too, Dan OB. I miss you being around. I hope you're doing good. 1972. There we go. Okay. Well, I think in 1972, I was more interested in, I was probably checking out girls then. You know, I was a little more interesting in the Atari Pong. You see my brothers playing, ding, ding. And I'm like, I'd rather be outside, right? Shooting baskets or doing something like that. Hey, Sambo. You like my sound setup? Thank you. Yep, you're blue, Mikey Mike. You are blue. Let me wrench the boss up. There we go. The reel is closed. Yeah, the boss bought me a beautiful reel. 72, I was a farm worker kid. Yeah, I don't know what I was in Salinas. You know, I showed you guys before. Now somebody asked, and I will show this. Let me go grab this. Oh shit. Let's have a little bit of fun tonight, huh? This will be fun. Look at look at all this old shit. This is my life right here. This is my life. Let me sit that down for a minute. Everybody knows my name, Stephen Hoff, but this is from June 2nd, 1970, Certificate of Achievement for Basketball. How about that, huh? There we go. We're going to take a trip down memory lane. TR, yeah, TR, I was, there you go. Yeah, watching Apollo moonwalks and all that. I told you, TR, I'm an old bat. Sambo says, Rosie, are you in AA or not drinking? Well, it's Wednesday night, so I'm just kind of just chilling out. Hey, Linda, nice to see you. Don't tell them that. I'm just going through the salient things in my life. Katie Cooper, she died when I was in, man, I don't know what I got all here. Lots and lots of crap. This is fascinating, right? Oh man. God, how many of you have your 9th grade? It's my junior high, 1973. You want to see what a squirrel I was? Oh man, I hated this school. PS 233, baby. PS 233. Let me see. Where am I? It's horrifying, this stuff. Oh, here I am. Right there. Woo! Am I not a happy camper or what? Oh, PS 233 in Baltimore. Oh man, ninth grade. And look at this. Good luck. Look at some of these autographs up at the top. And now remember, I'm in ninth grade. Good luck to my smoking buddy. There's Dick says, "Do you have a certificate for your first wet t-shirt contest?" Oh man, let's see. Oh, it's funny. You will probably grow up to be a very handsome young man. Well, that was kind of. I grew up anyway. A nice trip down memory lane here. Oh boy. What the hell that is? Somebody else's kid. Okay, take care, TR. This will be funny, guys. Oh, man. Oh, that's just crap. Just junk. I don't know how I saved all this shit. Hey, Joshua, how are you? I had fleeting body dysphoria as an 8th grader. Yeah, I probably did too. Trying to see, I haven't gone through this crap. What is all this stuff? Report cards. Who cares about that? Cares, right? Photos. There's not even a damn photo in it. Where in the hell that went? I'm trying to show my high school graduation. Hey, hipster. I don't know where in the hell. I'll probably find that somewhere. I don't know where in the hell that is. I just got a lot of crap here. Let's see my SAT scores. The hell is this? Accepted into University of Maryland. It gives me great pleasure to inform you that you have been admitted to the University of Maryland, College Park. Well, I went to Loyola. How about that? Yeah, BPA. No, I was a very marginal. I was a class clown. I was always in trouble. Yeah, the wall of sound is still there. Yeah, there it is over there. More stuff. Graduation announcements. This is fun, guys. Graduation. I'm trying to find some good stuff here. Let's see your report cards from 6th grade. Shit. There it is. Yeah, I received a scholarship. You know, we didn't have any money. Yeah, it's fun. Dear Stephen, we're pleased to inform you that you've been chosen to receive the Maryland Section American Welding Society Scholarship Award. Receiving the $500, receive acceptable grades and submit those grades to the Welder Supply Company, 701 McCullough Street, Baltimore, Maryland, 21021. The old American Welding Society. Pretty cool, huh? To pursue engineering. Baltimore City Public Schools junior high school graduation diploma. schools where all this busing was going on. It was terrible. A lot of engineering stuff here. Yeah, it's kind of fun, huh? Yeah, I did welding. I went to an engineering high school where we did wood shop in 10th grade. Then we had sheet metal shop. We were making ventilators for rooftops. And then we went to hot metal shop with forging, casting. And then finally you get to go to the machine shop where you're working on engine lathes and turning down metal and making bolts and nuts and stuff like that. I mean, that's when high schools taught you something. You know, you came out of a high school and you actually knew how to do something. You know, it's pretty amazing. There's a black and white. Look like one of those old presidents. That's just that's one of. They took several shots. I look like a goof in that one. That's not the fun. Oh, here it is. I just opened this up to see my picture. I don't have my picture. I don't know where in the hell it is, Jen. Oh, what a nightmare. Philosophy. Oh my God, my philosophy papers. You see this is when they used to send you a social security card. And I still have mine on there. Pretty cool, huh? Credit union. Man, that's when I worked. Shit. Is that when I was working at Western Electric? Yeah. Working in the cable shop. My pay stubs. Man, we thought it was great. $4.80 an hour. Yeah. Yeah, some troll parody videos. It's okay. You know, it's all right. I always say if you can take a little bit of fun and stuff like that, what the hell? There's the first car I had, a 1951 Chrysler Imperial Crown Victoria. That's what it looked like. I rebuilt that. I was 14 years old and tore that Hemi, one of the early Hemi engines out. Oh boy. No cussing, Sambo. Law school. Welcome to law school. Sorry, I've got no money for law school. Lacrosse, there's my lacrosse award, 1970. My receipt from paying a speeding ticket, $28 in Lewis, Delaware, for speeding across the eastern shore. Yeah, I worked. I think my first job was about $1.75 an hour or something like that. Enter. This is your life. Story of my life. Story of my life. This is fun. Differential. I scored a perfect score on the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery. I really almost considered going into the military. Oh man, listen to this letter, guys. This is from Baltimore City Public Schools. June of 1975. As you're aware, the Board of School Commissioners has been directed by the United States Department of Health, Education, and Welfare to further desegregate the Baltimore City public schools. Now, remember, I was born and raised at a time when, I was still remember being 10 years old and going to segregated lunch counters downtown and amusement parks and movie theaters for blacks only and whites only. This letter is to inform you of the high school your child has been assigned to under the desegregation plan that will be, hey, Andrea, nice to see you, be implemented on September 4th. We'll find the name of the school. Thank God it was a decent school. What the hell is this? No trace of executive who disappeared. Interesting. What the hell is all this shit? Hey, yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hey, Leroy Jenkins. Leroy's like, are you 90? Leroy is funny as fuck. Leroy, I just haven't looked through this. I haven't looked through this stuff in a long time. My owner's manual for my mini bike when I was little. Damn, you believe it? I'm already 60, but look at that. Yeah, Leroy, I'm like 90. Oh man, I feel like 100. What is that? Structure of the universe. Oh, it sounds a little crazy. What is that? Young businessmen. That was my group. Yeah. I was like a Michael J. Fox, right? What the hell is this? Continental Insurance. Thanks, yeah, man. You're sweet. Yeah, I try to stay young. Try to stay young. I got lots of cool. The cool stuff is on the bottom here. Cool crap is all on the bottom. A lot of crap here too. What is all this shit? Where are all my pictures? 20 more years, you'll be 80. Thank you, Sambo, and I'll still be sitting here doing the same crazy shit I'm doing right now. Oh boy. Oh, shit's flying out everywhere here. Trying to find some interesting stuff. Motor Vehicle Administration. What was I titling here? Oh, it's driver's license. I used to charge you $5 for a driver's license. Can you imagine? Come on, I'm getting bored of this shit. What is this? Come on. Come on, come on. Ooh, this was cool. Look at this. You know, I was telling you guys before, we didn't really have a lot of money when we were growing up, but they had this thing called Junior Orioles. And you paid like 50 cents and you got to go to like 10 games way out in the, way the hell out in the outfield. Johnny P, how you doing? Molly should, let me fix this, Molly. This really kind of cool. This is a real keepsake. And if on your birthday, if your birthday happened to be during the baseball year, and I love baseball, and the Orioles were a hellaciously great team, as you guys know, through the 60s and 70s. Yeah, it's at this birthday party. They gave you a birthday party in the birthday box, and they said, "Who's your favorite Oriole?" And I said, "Frank Robinson," right? So Frank Robinson comes up to the birthday box during the middle of the game and sits down and has a piece of cake and hangs out with you for a little while. You know, how cool was that? So they gave you a birthday card too. Yeah, Junior Orioles in the birthday box. So they gave you a signed autographed picture of whoever you wanted. So I couldn't decide whether I wanted Boog Powell or Frank Robinson. But Frank Robinson was just tremendous. The Orioles had just won the World Series just before 1966. I went to a game where Tom Phoebus pitched a no-hitter. Okay, well, after reviewing your overall academic performance here at Loyola in the field of history, we've decided that you meet the necessary requirements for membership in Phi Alpha Theta, International History Honor Society. That's pretty cool. Right. The hell is this? Oh. Who's who among students in American colleges. I'm privileged to inform you you've been nominated for your school inclusion in the 79-80 edition of Who's Who. Oh, jeez. I didn't buy the book. That's funny. Oh, Boog Powell is great. Yeah, Keith grew up during the big red machine. Yeah, man says that was the first game Cal Ripken sent out of Yankee Stadium. That's really cool. I had a double major in philosophy and political science in college. Let's see. What the hell is bad news from the high school? What is this? My mother worked hard to get me in the right high school and not to end up in some shithole. I'll always thank her for that. I will always thank her for that. Oh, God, where's the good shit here? Chemistry. All right, Sambo. Did anyone famous graduate from my high school? Yes. The most famous person was Alonzo Decker of Black & Decker. Was a distinguished graduate. There were a lot of engineers that came out of the Polytechnic engineers. Oh, boy. Did all kinds of, I mean, you really learned something when you went to high school in those days. This is 1974 mechanical drawing here of a cam, cross section of a cam, right? I mean, you really learned something. I mean, that's when you really, high schools really taught you stuff. You came out of there and a high school education, that was equivalent to a college education today. That's for sure. What the hell is all this stuff? Driver's education certificate, shit. Yeah, mechanical drawing. Look at that. August 9th, 1974. Maryland Department of Education Driver's Education Certificate. Pretty cool. I haven't seen any of this stuff in a long time. Yeah, I always loved engineering. That was always my passion. I always enjoyed how things work. What is this? Hope I'm not boring anybody. Yeah. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. I don't think a lot of people. High school graduation, Spirit kicks in '76. High school graduation. Hey, you guys weren't even born yet. Now, Coast Guard Auxiliary, basic seamanship, 1971. United States Coast Guard Auxiliary. That's when you really learned something back then. Basic seamanship. I don't even know how old I was. Trying to find my damn picture. There's another. We really got you for some really complicated. You guys can see some really complicated mechanical drawing here. The whole half of the year was cams and perspectives. I had a globe valve, but I can't find the damn thing. Let me pop this stuff away. I'm missing the best part. Looks like I got stuck with the crap as usual. Oh, thanks, Mom. Finally found it. Finally. Yeah, I went back for a few reunions. Look at that crazy tuxedo, huh? Rosie, what age did you realize you were different? Probably 15. Yeah, I wish I could find, Punk, I've got a beautiful globe valve, which is like a valve that you use to turn on the water in a garden, but a much bigger one, a cross section of that. Yeah, that was 1976, Linda. I've changed a little bit since. Shit. That's funny. I think the turning point came in 2000, Sambo, but I had kids I had to raise, so I just pushed that stuff aside until the kids were grown up. Yeah, it's the way they did it. Hey, Joe King. Yeah, the tux is okay. The tie, not so much. Yeah, the chair cushion is still here and in good shape. Isn't that funny? I mean, that's the style of tuxedos. It's really wide lapels, and then after you were done, you could go with the go with a Motown group after the thing. Pretty funny, huh? Oh boy. Those were the days. Thank you, Sambo. I'm gonna pop this away. I'll be right back, guys. Woo! Motown, baby. That's a Motown outfit right there. All right. Yeah, my mom saved all that stuff, and then when they were moving, she gave everybody their dossier, so to speak. I've done 2 degrees in Australia. Yeah, how you feeling, Molly? How's everything going? Andrea, let me give you a wrench. Let's see. You were family first to a point, then self. Very well, Sambo. What are you going to do? I mean, there's a lot of girls that walk away from their families because their, family naturally says we can't accept that. So, why did I want my kids' lives to be turned up and down? It was tough enough when they were, 18, 16 or whatever. Great. And I took care of college and all that. One of my gals got a scholarship ride. We still had to pay the room and board. And the other one, I did everything. So they wouldn't graduate and have to be burdened with student loans and all that. You are welcome, Andrea. Nice to see you around. Yeah, you should record your music, Carl. Yeah, that's exactly right. You can control your life, but kids can't. Hey, Matronista. I've not texted Coop this week. I guess I should. I've not heard anything. Usually we fire something back and forth. I've been so, doing other stuff this week, trying to get some videos cranked out. I love nursing, just hate the mom, and yeah. Yeah, just decided to come on live a little bit tonight and clean it up. Sadie Thompson asked me to, she said when I was on my travels that I promised to have a show my high school picture show. Did that? Do you have a good relationship with your kids still? Absolutely, a wonderful, wonderful relationship with them. Yeah, both of them. Hard fought. Hard fought. Yeah. And I'm very, very grateful for that. And they like Jen too. And my dad likes Jen. Yeah, bring Elvis on, huh? Yeah, but in the end, we have to be who we are. Geez, Sambo, you better put down the bottle. you're gonna lose your troll. Yeah, Jen. Yeah, my gals have come by here. Met Jen. Met my hung out with my dad 2 times here over the last 4 years. Yeah, Missy Jen. Yeah, they're very supportive. I mean, it's not their ideal thing, but as they get older, they start to understand. They do a little research and understanding, and you don't want to say embrace it, but they begin to understand it. And that was a significant thing because there was 2 years when I first moved here. My kids weren't talking to me from May of 2011 to June of 2013, and they were the two hardest years. They were the two hardest years, but kept paying what I'm supposed to pay, kept texting them every day, sending cards, birthday, Christmas presents, all that. Yeah, Sambo said, box mine, I'm losing my credentials. Is Bergs really a janitor? I'm not really sure what Bergs does. You know, I'm not sure. I think yeah, I'm surprised he didn't stop by tonight. Imagine someone donated $1 to Marshall this evening. I've not talked to Marshall for quite a while. He stopped doing hangouts. You kind of recede into the background a little bit, which is not the worst thing in the world. Oh, that's cool. Molly says, my aunt was Dolores. We called her Dolly. She was a U.S. Army nurse. That's great. Like I said, I have the utmost respect for anybody, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, Seabees, some of my good friends, TR preppers, Seabees, and of course the boss, Navy, the USS Roanoke, and Bobby, United States Army, regular. Boers, all these people that were Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Yeah, my hat is off to them. My dad was U.S. Army Reserve. My grandfather was United States Navy, aboard to Massachusetts. Yeah, love our troops and veterans. Absolutely, Andrea. You have a son that's military. I have a daughter. Military, United States Air Force. Yeah. Grill that salmon, Mike. We all right, get them where we all have different hang-ups and we're all fucked up, and yeah. That's funny. My boyfriend loves salmon with soy sauce. We Janet made the salmon with, she soaked it in teriyaki for about an hour, and then they put that on the grill. That was really good. And I'm not much of a salmon eater. I prefer like flounder or halibut, those type of things, but it was pretty darn good. Jen, how about that salmon? Huh? Really good, huh? He loves his new job, Andrew says, and I got to hear an F-22 drive over while he and I were talking. That's really cool. Cedar plank salmon. Yeah, my daughter's in the attached to the Star Wars initiatives. You know, Donald Trump is creating the, you know, they have the Air Force, and now they're going to be splitting that to the Space Force. So I told her it's a really good time to be military now because they have to fill up a whole new, you know, sub branch and stuff. So yeah, Mike says I prefer garbage fish, tilapia, and carp. Yeah, I don't think I've had carp before. To me, it's like eating, you know, when I was in China, and I have had mutton. She's associated with the space-based weapons system, Carl. Everything in, as she says, everything in Earth's orbit. That's what she that's her passion, intelligence. Yeah, I'm very proud. I'm really proud of her. My brother was a lieutenant in the Air Force. He was involved with the Libya. He was stationed at Mildenhall Air Force Base, and first he was stationed at Plattsburgh Air Force Base, and then over in Mildenhall when he was a weather wing officer. And he was flying with them when they bombed Libya, Muammar Gaddafi. Yeah, I'm very, very proud. So a lot of military in the family. So I like, I have a special place in my heart for military people because they sacrifice a lot. It's not just being told what to do and giving up 2 years, 4 years of your life, but it's also that willingness to lay down your life for your country it's a very grave responsibility. Pelosi said. Molly says, my mom was Australian Army Reserve medic, aunt U.S. Army. I'll just be a nurse. Well, my mother was a neonatal intensive care nurse. She went to nursing school at age 50, got her degree, and then went to be a neonatal nurse for many years. My sister was still is for many years was at University of Maryland when they were first starting all the shock trauma and stuff in the 1970s, and developing that whole field of medicine, that golden hour, that first all that was pioneered at the University of Maryland Medical Center. So there's a lot of nurses, a lot of military, and then there's me. Oh, that's awesome. You start the midwifery at college, and good for you. Good for you. Hope your shoulder's okay by then. Joe King, United States Army. Proud of Joe King. I think I'd like Joe King even if he wasn't Army, Joe King Joe King just reeks of alpha male. He lives in Texas and San Antonio, U.S. Army. No, my sister's not Dr. Sunny, but my ex went to the same medical training program that Dr. Sunny did. She was just 2 years ahead of Dr. Sunny at Maryland General Hospital. So, small world, right? Yes, I want you, Joe King. Joe King doesn't go over there. Joe King is safe on that side of the fence. It's like all the cattle over here, and Joe King is like, I can admire a cattle, but that cattle's a little weird over there. Yeah, Joe King is an awesome person. It didn't take me long to figure out. Joe King and I got off to a very rough start, but I think our I don't want to say our grudging admiration and just a little bit of understanding of what each other. He had a job to do and I had a job to do. So yeah, I have uber respect for Joe King. I mean, he's to my way of thinking, he's absolutely the funniest troll on YouTube. His sense of humor is sharp and fast, and it's like Carl. Carl's very funny. I remember the day I started sticking that wrench in Joe King's hand. It was like when you're busting a Bronco, right, and it keeps throwing the rider off, but you gotta keep getting on that bronc, and I kept giving that wrench to Joe King, and he one of this account kicked it off, and another one I put the wrench on, and then finally he wore the saddle of glory. And he said, I'm never booting anybody off, and I'm not timing anybody out. So if you think I'd look good in blue, and by all means blew me up. So that was kind of our mutual agreement there. That was a fun night, but I'll tell you what, when I found out that Joe King was United States Army and retired from the Army, I could never say anything. I could never say one negative. I didn't care how much Joe King would get me in a verbal headlock or whatever. I could never say a negative thing about Joe King. You know, I missed the draft. I think, you know, just a couple years. Even registration just ended like a year before I came of age. Well, I try to give everybody, Mike, here you go. So I just wrench it, and then everybody. I found out that seems to be the best way to do things, so everybody can get a wrench. So, no, Greg is around. Greg's still around. Greg is a friend. I have to say, for me, Pig Boy, what's up? How you doing, Pig Boy, down in Texas there? I have to say, the wrench means you can time people out or boot people. You have thick skin when it comes, except for elbow. Well, I'm going to tell you, Greg Campbell has been an excellent friend of mine for, yeah, we're all equal. Greg has been, you know, when I first started doing my chats in 2015, Aaron the bagel maker, I don't see him around too much. Guy I have a ton of respect for. We had like a little, you know, I screwed up, so he didn't moderate the chat anymore, which was fine. I asked him after a year to come back, but Greg, you know, Greg just jumped in and did a great job and continues to do a great job for me. Ellie, you know, I went back on this channel 2014, 2013. There's Ellie writing supportive comments on videos. I mean, she's ridden with me for over 5 years. Greg for at least 3 years, and see, Molly says, what are the top 3 places to see in the U.S. for first timer? I would say New York City. I would see San Francisco, New York, and probably the Grand Canyon would be the three things. Hey, Sean, what's up? Park City, Utah, beautiful place. Yes. Andrea says Smoky Mountains, Rocky Mountains, and West Coast. So everybody's going to have a different opinion about that. I think New York City, you have to see New York City. I think San Francisco is very, you know, it's got a lot of cool history. It's got a lot of incredible beauty with the Golden Gate Bridge and all the hills and the streetcars and all the culture. It's a very romantic city, San Francisco. Yeah, it's got trashy, homeless, and gay. You know, if you're not into gay and you know, but that's all. That's like in the Castro area, but outside of that, yeah, San Antonio is. Joe King said top 3 should be San Antonio, and San Antonio. I'm gonna tell you, San Antonio will blow your socks off. Don't hate me in Houston when I tell you this. Houston is a enormously gigantic city, but you know, not a lot of history that I know it there. You go down to San Antonio, though, good Lord. You stand at the Alamo, you go to River Walk down there. Wow. I mean, it just blows your eyes out. I mean, it's tremendous. I also felt I also loved El Paso. The barbecue and stuff was just tremendous. Now, Joe King, we're going to argue about Mexican food, but it's okay. Punk says Yosemite, Grand Canyon, Knott's Berry's Farm. Oh, the fried chicken has crack or something. Yeah, Texas is awesome. Texas is awesome. I haven't even been up to the Big D or Fort Worth, so but you got to see San Antonio. I mean, it's just world class beauty. And there's some fancy like hotel that sits there overlooking like 1920s style. It's very overlooking the Alamo, and it's just the sense of history is amazing. San Bernardino, you're starting to get a little scruffy there. Yeah, Sue said, "Hey, Sue, nice to see you." Sue says, "Hi, all. I used to live in Texas, and it's definitely worth seeing." How are you, sweetie? Nice to see you. Williamsburg, Virginia is beautiful. If you've never been to Williamsburg, my mother loved Williamsburg. She'd go down there at Christmas time when they were all decorated, and Chowning Tavern and all the governor's mansion, and she absolutely loved that. T-Berg's mom's garage. There we go. Carl's like the Rancho, the Lisa Marie, and T-Berg's mom. Joey D says, Joe King, I spent 8 weeks in San Antonio back in '62, never been back again. I bet it was a much different city back then, though, Joe. That's a huge city now. But San Antonio is a huge city that doesn't feel enormous. Like Houston feels enormous, but San Antonio, I love places that like San Francisco that mix history with culture and yet still have very large population bases and interesting things. Seattle's a great place. Yeah, Seattle's tremendous. Victoria. Yeah, tons of natural parks and great cities. Like one of my absolute favorite cities is Kansas City because it mixes food culture with historic music and art districts. It's really cool. Henry Hobson. Wow, Henry. Thank you, sweetie. Boy, have you been missed. I knew Henry was back when I had that RVers and on the streets and stuff. And Henry's like, just this. We're journalists now, Rosie. Now I'm a social critic. Henry, I love you. Nice to see you. Which cities have you visited that you decided you'd rather not ever return? Columbus, Ohio is a place I would not return to. Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Probably, yeah, you're the angel on my shoulder. Yes, you are. Yeah, Sue said Kansas City's great, but most don't know it. I don't think I'd go to St. Louis. There's not a lot I care. I've been to St. Louis quite a few times. Yeah, not a lot I want to see in St. Louis. Oh, Andrew said I was born in Columbus. Well, maybe there's interesting things to do there. I don't know. Columbus. Wheeling. You start to get to some of the scrubby industrial type cities. There you go. New York, San Francisco, and San Antonio. Yeah, they're remarkably different. Yeah, Birmingham, Alabama. I'm not sure if I would return to Tallahassee. Yeah, Honolulu's cool if you like history and a different kind of vibe. Oh, Jack Hanna's Zoo is in Columbus. Okay. Yeah, San Francisco's a real foodie town. Yeah, Joe says, Rosie, I got one Sunday off and I went to the Alamo. It wasn't all fixed up like when you went. The interesting thing about the Alamo, Joe, was that, for a lot of years they used it as warehouse storage and all kinds of. People don't really, it takes time for history to really move to legend, right? And San Antonio and the Alamo are a case in point that they had to be rebuilt quite a bit and reconfigured back to their old form because they were used as warehousing basically, and commercial warehouses and other things. But the things I found most interesting about the Alamo was, number one, it was free. That was rare. That's rare in this country. Let me tell you what, that's rare. Number two, nobody got a hard on if you had a video when you were doing video. Now, when you come into the Alamo, you come into the main church, okay? And that was like the mission, the church there. And they don't allow you to film in there because people died in that particular area. And I respect that, So I didn't video in that particular area. There's some things that got to be kind of sacred to the memory. Hey, Bean Sprout, nice to see you. Yeah, Sacramento, baby. So I thought that was really cool, was that the Alamo was free, welcoming to everybody. They have great presentations there. The thing that also surprised me was how small the Alamo is. You think that it's going to be this enormous, battlements and walls, and it's not really that big. It's a rather small place. No filming and no hats. No hats whatsoever. Don't go around and tell people take your hat off, and no filming in that church area, which is fine. But the definitely one of the most memorable places most enjoyable places that I went to. You're supposed to take it off inside. Yeah, that's how some cathedrals are in Mexico. Yeah, no filming. Yeah, Joe King says everyone says how small it is, but back in the day it was a very large compound. Yes, it was a big compound with walls. I'm just saying the actual thing that people identify as being the Alamo, the very famous front on it, is actually quite small in size, but there's a huge, like a huge walls that go all the way around the whole thing. Henry Hobson, I can't tell you how thrilled I am to see you back. I lost your phone number though, so I couldn't bother you with text messages and stuff. Henry Hobson, the angel on my shoulder. Isn't that funny? Oh, you enjoyed it even back then? Yeah, it was great. How about tourist spots that are a huge waste of money in your opinion? I got to think about that a little bit. Oh, please do. I don't know if you still have my number. It's still the same. Yeah, I'm never much on Disneyland. I took the kids down to Disneyland. They enjoyed that. They used to like to see Ed Skelton's Haunted Mansion. Beansprout loves, she's all into Disney and all that. All right. I'm trying to think what was. Yeah, see, this put me at odds with people. I didn't get near as much out of New Orleans as I got out of Baton Rouge, because Baton Rouge has a lot of the antebellum history and a lot of the sense of, there's still a very bitter undertone of losing the Civil War that just so seeps through. when you go to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and you go around some of the old plantations, and there's that old undertone of, I can't tell you how many people reminded me that, or told me that the day before the Civil War began, Louisiana was the richest state in the Union, and when the Civil War ended, it was the poorest state in the Union. So, no, that's fun, Henry. I know. I remember what kind of thing you left on. I remember what was going on when you went on your way. I'm very cognizant of that, Henry. I'm just saying you meant a lot to. You mean a lot to a lot of people. Cooper and some other people down here. So, Henry, I'm class of '76. Henry's like, no, you're no class. How are you, Timothy? Yeah, the Jimmy video. Baton Rouge was tremendous. That plantation we went to, and that guy was so bitter that he was nice, but he just talked about how his family lost it all to those Yankees, carpetbaggers, and all that. Yeah, Beanie's a youngie compared to me. Yeah, Debbie RN, Coop, you, and the Missy. Yeah, Sue's like Mardi Gras, something I could do without again. Yeah, kept my spirit. That's great, Henry. That is great. I'm just thrilled to see you. I was thrilled when Henry, we just right where we left off, he's commenting on my RV video. You know, Rosie, are you a reporter? All right, Sue, take care. I'm not going to be on that. I'm not going to be on that long, but it's been a fun chat. Just reminds us that we can always have fun chats and a good time. Always never go to a place tourists go. Always go to popular locals place. You'll always get better food at better price too. Better price too. No, Henry's not toast to go. No, Henry is a wonderful, wonderful friend lives in the Sac area. He was an institution here a couple years ago. Yeah, Tyler is in Minnesota. Toast to go. Tyler's really cool. Handsome too. Why are so many guys good looking on boy? You ever notice how many guys are really good looking on boy? No, Rosie, only you would notice that, right? I have my little scorecard. Isn't that right, Molly? You notice that? A lot of girls too. Some very nice looking people down there. Tyler's a hunk. Yes, he is. Oh yeah, Timothy says I'm going to buy you a 1950s pink Cadillac in mint condition, fully restored. You know what, Timothy? You better have about 60 grand, 60 to 80 grand for some of those Cadillacs. No, you're not me, Andrea. You, baby. Well, my best day, I never look as good as you do, honey. Timothy Martin, but a pink Cadillac. Wow. Those big bubble 1950s pink Cadillacs. I really like the 1959 to 1964 Lincolns and Cadillacs. Tyler's doing good, Andrea. He came by earlier tonight. He was by. He stopped in for a couple minutes just to say hi. Yeah, a la Jane Mansfield. Now, what would make you say that, Henry? That's funny. Yeah, Jane Mansfield commanded some attention, huh? Yeah, I wish Tyler had stayed around longer. Toast to go, yeah. I don't know how he got up. I don't know how he got that name, Toast. I don't know. No, nothing, honey. The old broad. The old broad. But like a lot of you guys, I just come on to have fun. Yeah, you just missed Tyler. He was here about an hour ago. He stopped in. He used to cam up on the Hangouts. Woo! I actually knew him from Adult Friend Finder, even before YouTube. He knew me over there. I mean, he really knew me. I haven't seen Amanda in a couple months, Henry. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh my God, Bean said that iced tea gave me a headache. Yeah, your doggy's really cute, Bean. Bean sent me a little video clip of her pooch was so cute tonight. Yeah, see that iced tea. No, I'm not kidding, Andrea. Tyler Block. Who could bluff Cupcake? Why don't you have a wrench? What the hell's going on here? MX, I popped in MX's chat last night, and he says that's a fake Rosie. I just got knocked right now. No, Carl, you know it was kind of funny. The Wild West days of stuff, and that's where I first met Tyler. But even then, he was always a gentleman. He was always the friendliest guy around. No, hardly a virgin. I, I've been knocked around a few mattresses over the years. Isn't that funny? Oh, I can't believe Cupcake anybody would block you. Believe anybody would block Cupcake? Cupcake's like the sweetest thing on YouTube. Carl, are you doing any vacation? Are you going anywhere for the summer? Yeah, I'm not a mattress warrior like Coop. Yeah, Cupcake. Who could ever? I can't imagine anybody ever blocking Cupcake. Are you kidding me? She shows this nice looking food. She's a very dynamic and engaging and sweet person. You know, she's always been incredibly nice to Jen and I. And when's your next mini trip? Waiting for some cool air. Henry, we're taking off for Reno next Tuesday. We're going to be meeting Joey D for lunch in Fairfield. Thank God we finally have a chance. Going to finally have a chance to meet him because he's been such a wonderful friend. And then we're going to head off to Reno. And Henry, don't get mad if I do the Reno underbelly tour again. You know how I like to go around and show the motels and the, you know, and people always jumping and getting in my face. Are you videoing? Yeah. Yeah, play some Johnny Cash. That's it. Henry's. Carl said, I don't have the funds to go. I might go camping and do some fishing in August. Carl, I smell a GoFundMe, huh? Put me down for 100. Yeah, Henry says, I love those gritty videos. Yeah, I like to get out there and mingle with the peeps. Remember, if you're not putting yourself at risk, you're not really, you're not really bringing in the content, right? Yeah. Look at Mike said Rosie wins $500 and gives everybody a wrench. Mike, I never had a time in a casino ever. Every machine I sat down to play before dinner, 2 machines I played before dinner, and then about 6 machines after dinner, every machine paid. Yeah, Carl, we'll take care of you. We'll get you a week up in the Catskills, put you up at Grossinger's for a week, huh? Up on the Borscht Belt. Yeah. Means like Rosie's feeling. I am, Bean. I am. I spent some money today. You're going to see some shopping we did. Of course, trying on clothes, not just at the thrift shop, but stuff that's 10 sizes too small up top. Yeah, it was really good time, Mike. Really good time. Yeah, gonna buy some Elvis merch from Vinny to use this world betting. That's funny. Henry said, honestly, those people deserve a bit. They're hardly vets that have lost their way. Yeah, I just like to show the changes over time, Henry. And sometimes you got to kind of go into those motels because there's usually somebody screaming off of balconies and all that stuff. Has the class been pushed to the back burner? Hey, Smooth, what's happening? Let me wrench up Smooth here. Yeah, it's kind of pushed to the back burner for a little bit. I told him in October, November is the period. I think it's the best time to be looking for rigs. Talked to Elvis last week about that. We were talking about the dream rig, and I said, really, the Road Track 200 or 210. There you go. Molly said, I'm eyeing some Gucci heels, a post-surgery reward. Yes. Punk says, Rosie, is it illegal to distill bourbon here in California? It's a great way to save some cash. We will be doing another distilling run sometime this late summer, fall. Haven't decided yet. But yes, anytime that you put the heat, you can make mash. No problem. You can do a ferment, no problem at all. You're just making beer. You're allowed to make 200 gallons of beer or wine a year. But when you put that distiller's beer into the still and you put the heat to it, then at that point you're breaking the law. Okay, there's no legal distilling allowed in the United States unless you have a permit, fuel permit, or a distilling permit. Okay. Well, I'm looking at a Class B. No, I was telling Elvis. Elvis would be very happy down in LA, down in that area, because it has all the LGBTQ lifestyle of Hollywood and all that kind of stuff. Well, they have to catch you doing it, Punk. That's why I would never do it. I would never do it real time. It would be, an event that got uploaded 3 weeks later or whatever. I don't want to do it I did it for years. Tom, how are you doing? Yeah, have you gotten any nibbles? No, I'm not having Marshall come here just to work on his rig. I'm not. I got too much going on. I'm saying he would always be welcome to come here, but the expectations are that I got a life here. Well, if let's figure it this way, half of Santa Rosa burned to the ground, okay? So probably Marshall wouldn't have liked it anyway because of the Mexican population, but it's a wealthy community. And he would just get overwhelmed by the Mexican food scene here, and it wouldn't be to his liking. He'd be complaining about the people. So he wouldn't last long in Santa Rosa. He'd be down to LA or to San Francisco. Yep, Mike G in the Shine Shack. Woo, that's it. He's like, well, screw him then. All right, Tom Tom's in Pennsylvania. He's got his house on the market. 4 people have looked, and 2 more tomorrow just went on the market. Did you feel the earthquakes when they hit you? I was in the 71 Silmar, and I could hear the ground exploding. I've been through 6.2 earthquakes here, and the great 1906 earthquake per capita wrecked Santa Rosa much more than San Francisco. It was much deadlier per capita. Destruction was much more intense. And Petaluma was hardly touched, 10 miles to the south. Santa Rosa was wrecked again in 1969. The downtown was wrecked. The federal building, everything was wrecked. So I've often contended that this is the most dangerous place to live in America. Between wildfires and earthquakes, it's a hell of a dangerous place to live. And you feel them. I felt some. They don't all make a rumbling sound. There was one night back in 1998, I was living in Petaluma, and no, this was, what was this? That was like 2003, and across town, about a mile below a graveyard, and it was like 11 o'clock at night, and all of a sudden I heard something that sounded kaboom. It was like the loudest explosion I'd ever heard in my life, and that was a deep magnitude earthquake that went. And about 5 or 6 seconds after it felt the boom, you just felt the ripple come under the house, of that. Oh, it's scary. I mean, when he was here, it's gone now on the channel, but the day after August 2014, when Jen was only here 4 months or so, we had a terrific earthquake that the shades in the windows were going back and forth. I looked out, there were transformers on power poles that were blowing up. We have big cracks in the back on the concrete from that one. Yeah, it's very scary. We're on what's called the Rogers Creek Fault here. Yeah, it was like this was actually the earth splitting below. And Lord, it was the crazy thing is that it was right below a graveyard, right below the Oddfellows graveyard across town, where Robert Ripley of Ripley's Believe It or Not is buried. Yeah, beans like I felt one in Oakland sound like a freight train. They're pretty intense. This is why I had to reinforce the wall of sound. I had to get underneath it there and put some blocking and support under there, and I had to make sure that this was contained at the ceiling, that this thing couldn't actually start walking. This is under compression there. It's pushing into the ceiling. I also put the lips. I also have the rubber cups here that should the earthquake. Remember, the earthquake is going to move from east to west, and it's going to come under the living room. And if it's jarring enough, it's going to want to try to push these out onto the floor. So I have to protect these units. I have to put some more cups up, but I put some of these furniture cups in that keep those things from shifting forward, because do a lot of damage. Joe King said I was in a big earthquake up in Hokkaido, scared the fuck out of me. Yeah, I've been in some in Taiwan. I've been up on the 55th floor when I worked for AT&T very briefly, and man, the whole tower was just swaying, and you're just praying to God that Chinese engineering. Are we going to stop oscillating? Are we going to start cracking some steel, backbone of the building? Yeah, Henry, I got to be very nervous. There's a lot of weight on that wall. So, Joe King, we tied a pencil like a pendulum to the light that was over the conference table, and all day long we just saw the pencil wasn't moving, we were. Taipei has earthquakes all the time. Yeah, one time we had a quake. Punk says one time we had a quake in the office I used to work. I was the only one nerve to dive under his desk. Well, you're smart. All right, take care, Tom. Tom, good luck to you. I was living over by the UC Medical Center at the time. Yeah, if you live in California, you kind of get used to them. It's been 4 years. That one in August of 2014 was the last. I thought I felt one the other night, but it was a 2.4. Everybody says we're going to have the big one. Oh, it was just the curry you ate, John. Yeah, we're getting wildfires. I'm afraid, Carl, they got wildfires in what was I reading yesterday? In Siberia now. They've had the warmest, they got up to like 90 degrees in Siberia and stuff. So I hate to say it, I think the planet's pretty much fucked. Rising water levels and just saying, guys, I used to be a climate denier. Now I'm not so sure. Yeah, Greece is bad, fires. I mean, what happened in Greece is what happened here last October, just a firestorm. I think 50 people died down there. It was terrible. And these things get into urban areas like Santa Rosa, and it's just like, whoa. I mean, you're just taking out, like we lost, think about this, guys, 6,000 homes in 6 hours. 6 hours. 6,000 homes. Yeah, Janet lives on the Green Valley Fault. She does, Joe. She gets a lot more shakers down there than we do. We're on the Rogers Creek fault line. Many a night she's texted me, did you feel that? One time she had a guest staying over. From some of the earlier videos on the other channel, it's gone now, but we had a trip to, where did we go? Virginia City and Reno. And there was a gal that used to tag along with us, a tall blonde gal, trans gal dresser. She was over there one night when they had a real bad earthquake. She jumped into bed with the boss and when are you coming to Virginia Beach? I'm not sure, Caitlin. Supposed to be a nice place. Yeah, see, Joe King, Jory's still out. I just don't know. Punk says, yeah, it's exactly what's happening. Greece was a Mediterranean climate like us here in California. Now they're drying up all. Yeah. Carlos, how you doing? What's up? Yeah, Virginia Beach is beautiful. And I particularly love Nags Head, North Carolina. Kitty Hawk, Corolla. I had a beautiful time in 2011, and Corolla was just spectacular. I used to go to Ocean City, Maryland. You'd be packed in like Coney Island, right? You butt cheek to butt cheek. I got down to Corolla in June. I couldn't believe it. I flew into Norfolk and drove down to Corolla. This is just after I settled the buying the rancho. I had a family reunion there. Yeah, we got Carlos in the house. Carlos, if you just promise me that you're not going to put crazy stuff, it's fine. You and I get along good. I got nothing against Carlos. I'm sorry, Carlos, I can't. I can't. Something in my head just tells me, no, no, no. I'm sorry, Carlos. I'm going to love you from a distance. Yeah, Caitlin. Yeah, don't you think that's beautiful down there, down Virginia Beach, all the way down to where Irene lives down in South Carolina, and you get down to Charleston, beautiful Charleston. I used to carry earthquake insurance, but honest to goodness, Timothy, I think if push came to shove, I could just rebuild this place myself for cheaper than earthquake insurance. You still have to pay the first 20%. California, a house like this, $500,000. You know, it's not going to be a total loss, but you're going to at least pay the first $50,000 or so. You know, for 100K, I could just rebuild it myself. So, yeah, I'm sorry, Carlos. I mean, I saw you had those pictures of you had that video posted on, what was that, Dave's chat of, a woman having a gynecological exam with the speculum and stuff. Oy vey. Shit. Yeah, stay there, Caitlin. It's much safer there over in Virginia Beach. Oh, was that Cooper's? Okay, I was like, God Almighty! I clicked on that. I know I'm crazy, right? Never click on a link to Carlos' post, right? And there's a woman in the stirrups with the speculum, and so I'm sorry, Carlos. Something told me tonight. Coats 9,500. There's my Gerald. Hi, sweetie. Coach is a mod. Nice to see you. Yeah, I love the Coop too. Hi, Coopy. If you're out there, I haven't heard. I got to text him tomorrow morning. Say hi to him. Yeah, Coop laughed about it, but it was, man, I clicked on that link and it was like, wow, Carlos, what the hell? No, Coop wasn't laughing at the time. I mean, I do really like Carlos, but Carlos, I love you, but I'm just saying, you're like nitroglycerin. I got to be really damn careful, right? Once you're on the loose, then you're like a ferret. It's hard to get you out because I don't, you're slippery, right? You guys know what I'm saying? Carlos has like 100 names, and it's like, good night, Molly. Thank you, sweetie. Love you. Glad your shoulder's doing good. Very glad your shoulder is doing good. Don't you feel like Carlos is like slippery? Like once, it's like you let a ferret into your house. Oh, that'll make a really nice pet. And you go out to dinner with your wife. You come home and your fucking curtains are pulled down, and every piece of good stuff you had on your mantle, collector's items, guns, all the shit's on the floor. Every refrigerator's open. Every dish is out in the kitchen. Your closets are open. The drawers are all pulled. All your dressers are pulled over. It's like, yeah, it's like the frog and the scorpion. That's exactly right, Joe King. Give me a ride over. I promise not to sting you. Okay. You told me you wouldn't sting me. I'm just doing what a scorpion does. I'm not sure, Carl. It's like once I unleash the Gorgon, it's impossible with Carl. I'm sorry. I just Carl knows I love him, but Carlos knows I love him. But good Lord, I have seen him go to town on some. He's better with just freelancing. You know what I'm saying? God, I don't want anybody to talk. Oh, did you see what happened to Rosie? It's like I wouldn't trust her. Yeah, I'm glad you appreciate that. It's nothing I like you a lot, Carlos. I'm in fear of you. Your trolling skills and things. Yeah, he is a legend. It's Carlos Martinez, the legend. That's right. That is funny. He's honest. Yeah, I wouldn't trust me. And the very important guy, yes. Yeah. Andrew says, I've often wondered if Carl looks like his avatar. Joe said Rosie's Cooper KO. Last I saw him, he was head under table. I'm going to contact. Good night, Caitlin. Thanks for stopping by. I'm going to contact him tomorrow. I've been so busy doing other crap. I think he's okay. From what I understood, when he came on the after chat last Friday night, he was popping in and out. It seems like his brother or somebody, nephew or somebody had asked if they could use his computer. And he has a new computer, and this relative downloaded some games or something. So Coop says that, before everything went KO, all of a sudden his drive became disconnected or something, and it all went out. And I just kind of faded off. It was like, I think it was like 3 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, a high audience YouTuber experienced a legend early tonight. He had to stop his show. Way to go, Carlos. Man. He's NOE, Network of Evil. I mean, these are real old school. I'm not saying he's old, but these are really old school trolls, Jeff T. Rowe is part of the NOE, the Network of Evil. Experience the legend. Carl says, I love the boy trolls. Well, Carlos is one I give a lot of latitude to. I give a lot of respect from a distance. You guys know what I'm talking about. You let that wild ferret into your house, and it's real nice for 10 minutes till you leave the house, and then it's like all hell breaks loose. Zombies the best, yeah. Yeah, I never know which zombie I'm gonna get though. There's a really mean zombie and there's a nice zombie. Flip a coin. You never know which one you're gonna get. So Joe, that's what I think happened. I think he just got. Yeah, I love Skiwi's funny as hell. I actually enjoy Skiwi. Delbert Grady. I mean, he's pretty funny. So that's what I think happened with Coop, Joe. Look at me. I'm having a few of the jelly beans that Joe sent up. Some of the belly flops. These things are so good. The ones that don't quite make it into regular production. I think that's cool that they sell them. All right, there's a couple of zombies. Problem is, you drop a jelly bean on an Oriental rug, you'll never find the damn thing. Happy Meal is great. I don't know why anybody would hate on Andrea. I mean, Happy Meal is pretty funny. Yeah, we got a pretty good homeless problem Gerald, because the climate's good here, and there's California gives out a lot of services. So basically, everybody you saw in those RVs that were on that circle had nothing to do with the fires last year. They've moved into the area because Santa Rosa now allows you to live on the streets here because of the shortage of housing. So a lot of people came in from other areas to have boondocking peace. As long as you move every 72 hours, they don't care. But even then, the cops aren't out there hassling them and counting down 72 hours. They don't want to do that. But they're starting to get in fights with the people that work in the office buildings and all that. And drugs. I'm going to tell you guys this. You should be very scared what's going on in emergency rooms in this country now. 20 years ago, when I started really getting involved in medicine, I would always overnight reports. If you're affiliated with hospitals and it's a patient of yours, and my ex at that time had a full load and helping her, you get overnight reports from the hospitals, right? 20 years ago, there would be child has fever, guy doing a home project, cut his finger, fell off a roof, drowning, or just normal fevers and all that stuff. I'm telling you now, guys, 70% of what comes across of hospital reports is drug and alcohol related. The other day, a woman goes into the ER screaming. This is shot herself with meth. I never even knew you could shoot yourself up with meth. I don't know anything a lot about meth, right? She said the needle broke off in her abdomen. The problem is that needles don't break off, they bend. Okay, so they tried to tell her there's no metal in yours. They had to shut her up, they had to take an ultrasound to prove there was no needle in there. She went on a rampage and probably, screwed up a lot of hospital equipment, pulling out tubes and stuff like that, till they finally brought her under control. But by that time, her hospital bill went into the tens of thousands of dollars. And this stuff goes on every day. Drunk guy fell down and hit his head on the curb. Another person, and I got to tell you what, the ERs don't care because they're making good money. Every time somebody's brought in, every time an ambulance brings somebody in from the street, they're making good money. They're going to go out there all the time and pick people up like crazy. So it's a terrible, terrible thing. I'm so glad I'm, if not retiring, then damn close to retiring. It's terrible. Yeah, you can't turn away people, and it's just awful. Yeah. Yeah, they get well reimbursed for what comes in the door, trust me. They're not hurting. You don't hear of a lot of hospitals hurting. So this is what our hospitals are consumed with us, and the cost that we all bear is terrible on that. All right, guys. Well, it's about 9:30. I'm going to shut it down. I want to thank everybody coming to a little impromptu chat. I had a good time tonight. Fentanyl's a problem too. May or may not do something tomorrow night. I don't know. If it is, it'll be a surprise guest. You never know. And then Friday evening is baking an apple pie. So we're going to traditional apple pie. So Carl, Punk, Andrea, everybody else on here, thanks so much for coming in. I had a really fun chat tonight. Be nice to each other. And Coach, nice to see you in here, Gerald. And Joey D, I'm really looking forward. Andrea, really looking forward to seeing you, Joey D. Please contact Jen so we can get you back in our number. Henry, love you. And Joe King, thank you. Timothy Martin. Yeah, Joe, because we're really Matronista, honey. Yeah, contact her so we get your number. Okay, everybody, thanks again. And see you around the tubes.